talk about the HAJJ word for word, inshallah. طيب. Start please. Page number. حجة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Hajj of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. You haven't started with that? Yes. Jabir, Hadith Jabir. Muslim narrates, yes. First of all, give us a date in Islamic. Start with that.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أما بعد. Today is the 29th of Dhul Hijjah, 1429 after Hijrah. We are continuing with languages and we are on Hajj, chapter of Hajj, page number 318. Take your pilgrimage, rights from me, the Hajj of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muslim recorded on the authority of Ja'far ibn Muhammad from his father, who narrated, we went to Jabir ibn Abdullah and he began inquiring about the people until it was my turn. I said, I am Muhammad ibn Ali ibn al-Hussein. He placed his hand upon my head, opened by upper one and lower one, and placed his palm on my chest to bless me. During those days, I was a young boy. He said, welcome my nephew, ask whatever you want to ask. I asked him, but he was blind and did not respond immediately. The time for prayer came. He stood, covering himself in his mantle. When he would place its end on his shoulders, it would slip down due to it being short. Another mantle was lying on a rack nearby. He led us in the prayer. I said to him, tell me about the Hajj of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He pointed with his hand and made a 9, and then said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stayed in Medina for 9 years but did not perform Hajj. He then made a public announcement in the 10th year that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going to perform the Hajj.
Stop. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وعلى من تبع هداهم إلى يوم الدين. For verily, after a long break due to the Hajj, and أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى to accept our Hajj, and for those who did not make the Hajj, to grant them the Hajj, and for those who made the Hajj to grant them another opportunity to make the Hajj. For verily, Prophet of Allah, he said, always keep making Hajj and Umrah, tabi'u bayna al-Hajj wal-Umrah. That means do the Hajj following the Umrah by Hajj. For verily Allah Azza wa Jal will remove away from you, number one, poverty, and then number two, the sins, al-khataya. So the more Hajj and the more Umrah you do, the richer you're going to be. SubhanAllah. And people will do the opposite. They wouldn't really go to Umrah and Hajj in case that would decrease the budget. So the more Hajj and Umrah you take, the more Allah will give you. And here we're about to discuss a mighty hadith, which is the story of Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhu, who was a person who can see, but later on became blind. Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhu, who was the son of the Abdullah ibn Haram, who was martyred in the Battle of Uhud, his father, and he left him 9 or 7 sisters. Some narrations say 7, some narrations say 9 sisters to look after. So Jabir ibn Abdullah, he lived to look after 7 or 9 sisters, which are the daughters of Abdullah ibn Haram. Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhu, he was met by Muhammad ibn Ali ibn Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. So Muhammad, he is the grandson of Al-Hussein, who is the grandson of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As soon as Jabir touched him and he knew who he was, because he told him, I am Muhammad ibn Ali ibn Hussein, he was so happy and he said, okay, the son of my brother, and brother means brother in Islam, ask whatever you wish. salah time was on, and that's why I was not able to ask. So he stood up in a garment which is very humble. He said it's very small, and he had led us in the prayer. Then I told him, tell me about the Hajj of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Jabir Abdullah started to narrate the story of the Hajj. This hadith, our Shaykh al-Albani made a booklet about it called Hajjatul Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So there's a book regarding this hadith called Hajjatul Nabi of Shaykh al-Albani, كما رواها عنه جابر ibn Abdullah رضي الله عنه, according to what the narration of Jabir. So with this in mind, we will be going through the narration of Sahih Muslim. We're going to add some of those narrations which has been added by Shaykh al-Albani in order to shed light on things maybe will not be understood except if we had extra narrations added to it. So starting with this, he said, as soon as he was asked, Jabir, he went with his hand, فَعَقَدَ تِسْعَةً. So he made like this, 9. And then he said, Prophet of Allah stayed in Medina for 9 years, did not perform Hajj. Then, on the 10th year after Hijrah, he had made an announcement that the Prophet of Allah is to make Hajj. This announcement was for the sake of every person to get ready to accompany the Prophet of Allah to learn from him. And that's why I'm just saying it's very important when you choose your Hajj package, don't choose how comfortable it is, which is important, but it's not as important who is going to go along with you. You need to understand that there are in the Hajj things that you will not be able, if you're not a student of knowledge, to understand the correct methodology, except if you accompany somebody who is knowledgeable to tell you the Hajj step by step, and in case you face something that you need to ask a question regarding it. And believe me, for those who go to Hajj, they realize that more than 50%, I would say even 80 or 90%, but more than 50% of the people who go to the Hajj, they perform it the wrong way. Not to say some of them, their Hajj is invalid. And you will see the amount of knowledge Allah granted you when you see the ignorance and the amount of ignorance which is surrounding you. So you will see the amount of knowledge Allah granted you when you see the amount of ignorance surrounding you. Lots of ignorance there. Lots of things, to the extent that you find people making wudu out of the haram air. No water. They're putting their hands onto the wall and making wudu. One, from the haram air. They think the haram air is what? It's pure. You must have seen that. Yes. So that is the type of ignorance that you find there. Making wudu from the haram air. That's a type of ignorance. There's more than that. Those people who are calling the shouting groups, you can't really make tawaf quietly. Every time you make tawaf and you're trying to make your own dua, your own shouting group passing by, so you keep away. When I go to the shouting group from the you can't concentrate on your dua, shouting group, I call them, shouting group here. You'll find people doing all sorts of things. One of them, this Hajj, he was actually sending kisses like this onto the black stone. I said to him, it's better for you to do it with your foot. To make it maybe much powerful. Look at it and go, what is this then? What is this? Throwing kisses into the... Some of them do 2 hands. All sorts of things. You'll find people touching that golden glass that contains the trace of the foot of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Okay, so it really, it's not the trace of Ibrahim there, it is just where Ibrahim stood. It's not a stone there being kept. Kissing it and wiping wax and all of that. Allah understand. So when you really love him, Allah intends good to him, you give him the understanding of the religion. So let's go with Jabir ibn Abdullah with this trip. He said that Prophet of Allah made the announcement that I'm about to make Hajj. So lots of people came. The narration says, فَلَمْ يَبْقَ أَحَدٌ. Nobody stayed behind who was capable to come, whether on foot or on mount, except that he had come. Nobody had been left behind. Talking about women and children. They came just to learn from the Prophet. And the distance here is not really, walking, for example, to Luton from here. Much more than that. Talking about 255 miles. To walk down 255 miles is a lot of distance. And to walk it not in the nice sort of weather of England, cool, no, it's in the heat of the sun, hot. Regardless of the season, whether it's winter or it is summer, both seasons are hot. So, coming back, so he says, go ahead, lots of people come.
A large number of people came to Medina and all were anxious to follow the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and act according to his actions. We set out with him until we reached.
All of them, they want to take his actions. They want to take his actions. Right. Now, when did this take place? This is not being documented inside Imam Muslim. This Prophet of Allah had happened, it was on the 25th of the Qa'dah. Or the 26th. The 25th of the Qa'dah. So he set to make Hajj before the Hajj days by how many days? 13 days. Remember, he's not going by car. The journey takes about 4 days, at least. So, on the 25th, of the 20th, he says, about 5 or 4 days left. And not only that, he said the year 10 after Hijrah, it's narration. So it's the year 10 after Hijrah, and it's 25th or 26th of the Qa'dah. And the narration also adds that he had taken with him a hadi. What's a hadi? Sacrificial animal. Sacrificial animal, for those who take it from the miqat, for those who are making Hajj Qiran or Hajj Tamattu', they are to slaughter an animal as soon as they finish, as soon as they are doing their rituals of Hajj on the 10th day, they have to slaughter the hadi. It's an equivalence of udhiyah, but it's not an udhiyah, it's called hadi. So we understand now that the Prophet of Allah, he took the animal with him. But do we say it is from the sunnah to take the animal with us? No, it is not. Because the Prophet of Allah later on, he would say, if I knew what revelation I'm going to get regarding my future, I would have not chosen to take the sacrificial animal with me. Why? Because the sacrificial animal with him, when he had taken it, it restricted him from taking the concession he had given it to the other companion. What was the concession? The concession is that when the Prophet of Allah, he made his intention to make Hajj and Umrah, because there was only Hajj or Hajj and Umrah together. There is no such thing, Umrah first, and then you take off your clothes of Haram, and then you do Hajj. Either you do Hajj, so you're all the way Hajj, or you do first Umrah, then you wait till the 8th day, and then you make Hajj. But you cannot take the clothes of Haram in the middle. There's no such thing called tamattu'. What is tamattu'? That is, you take in your relaxation, luxury, which is you make Umrah, then you take off your Ihram, and then you stay until the 8th day of the Hijjah, then you put Ihram on, and then you do the Hajj. It was not the case before. Brother, pray before you sit, because the masjid, I know that doesn't look like a masjid, but it's a masjid. It doesn't really. Sorry to say that, but except for that. No, but from outside is on the right. From outside. Right. Looks like the top floor of the shop. That's a break in the middle. What was I saying? Tamattu. The tamattu is making Umrah and then Hajj. So the Prophet of Allah wanted to make Umrah and Hajj together. Now, when he had taken the animal with him, later on, when he had the revelation to say that you could make Umrah first and then Hajj, he said to the companions, those who are making intention of Hajj, let them make Umrah. That Hajj that you've done after he finished the Tawaf, let that is a Umrah. And for those who are attending Umrah and Hajj, let them break from the state of Ihram to the 8th day and then they will put the Hajj. The companions already at the beginning they were shocked. We're intending Hajj, now we're going to be taken off our clothes of Ihram. I mean, we couldn't really approach our wives and all of that. They couldn't believe it. And the Prophet ﷺ said to them, and if I knew that this is going to be the case, I would not take my sacrificial animal with me. Because when he took the sacrificial animal with him, the condition is, Allah says in the Quran, حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ الْهَدْيُ مَحِلَّةً, that you're not allowed to declare state of no ihram until you slaughter the animal. So he has to be stuck until the 10th day of the Hijjah, and he cannot break off his ihram. Do you understand that? So he cannot enjoy the Umrah. He has to take the Umrah with the Hajj. He cannot enjoy the Tamattu, which is to declare state of no ihram, and take off the clothes of ihram, and approach the wives, and then after that, on the 8th of the Hijjah, he will put the ihram again, and he will declare state of ihram. Do you understand me? So because he took the animal with him, he couldn't do it. So he said to those who did not take the animals, break off your Umrah, khalas, and then wait for the Hajj day. You're following? And for those who are like me, took the, and there are very few, took the Hadi, then they should not break their ihram until they slaughter the Hadi. Until they finish the Hajj, basically. So, there's a few companions who were with the Prophet of Allah, so we can't say it is from the Sunnah to take your Hadi with you. They drag it, for example, from Medina, from all the way, or Dubai, maybe from Bedford, and ship it all the way there. That's not from the Sunnah. There's another thing as well here, that the Prophet ﷺ, when he had made his Hajj and Umrah, and he said for those who did not drag their sacrificial to break their Umrah, and to make state of no ihram until the 8th, Ali ibn Abi Talib, radiallahu anhu, he was in Yemen. So he came, and he caught up with the Prophet of Allah before the days of the Hajj, in the Hijjah days. His wife Fatima, which is the daughter of the Prophet, she was with the Prophet. And she was one of those who came with the Prophet. She did not take with her the sacrificial animal. So she's enjoying now this called Tamattu. So she declares state of no ihram. She is now, so she had put her normal clothes and, and when Ali ibn Abi Talib approached her, she had put her perfume on and all of that. So he saw her like this, after state of ihram, said, who told you to do this? Because he doesn't know. She said, my father. Father, not any father, it's the Prophet. He was really upset. So he went to the Prophet of Allah, Messenger of Allah. Fatima declares, or she claims that so and so and so. He said, yes. What about me, Messenger of Allah? He's asking about himself. He said, what did you have as an intention when you came from Yemen? The place called Yalamlam is Miqat. He said, oh Lord, my intention is as the intention of the Prophet of Allah. He said, you can't break off your ihram. So he made his intention as the intention of whom? Of the Prophet. And because I have taken with me the sacrificial, I'm stuck. I mean, basically, I cannot declare state of no ihram, and you are stuck with me. So you can't enjoy the break like your wife. She's Fatima. So going back now to going before the story, we can just give you a glimpse of what taken place before afterwards. So coming back now, we said the Prophet of Allah, he said to the Hajj in the year 10 after Hijrah, in the day 25th or the 26th of Dhul Qa'dah, that's about 13 or 12 days from the Hajj day, which is the 8th. And companions, some of them going with Hajj Nisam, some of them they're going with Hajj and Umrah, some of them, very few, taking the Hajj sacrificial, the Hadi all the way from the Miqat, all the way to Mecca. So let's go ahead and listen.
We set out with him until we reached Dhul al-Hulayfa. Asma, the daughter of Umayz, gave birth, then Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr. She sent a messenger to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, asking him as to what she should do. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, take a bath, bandage your private parts, and enter into the inviolable state. The Messenger of Allah...
That's it. Take it easy, you're not going to read it. I'm going to give you a ticket for speed. Right. So the Prophet ﷺ, he arrived to Dhul Hulayfa. What is Dhul Hulayfa? Dhul Hulayfa is a place about 5 miles from Masjid of the Prophet of Allah to the south of Medina. You're going towards Mecca. It's called Dhul Hulayfa. In Dhul Hulayfa, the Prophet of Allah, he made a khutbah, addressed. That's the Arabic. He made a khutbah. And in that khutbah, he said to the people, "O people, the place, the station, for the people of Medina, and the ones who pass it through the Medina, if they're attending Hajj or Umrah, is Dhul Hulayfa. So they may not pass Dhul Hulayfa until they declare what? State of Haram. And the place or the station for those people who are coming from the other side, from the coastline, like Bilad al-Sham, or even the people from Medina, if they're coming from that side, then their station is Al-Juhfa, which is called now Rabid. And actually the scholars have actually revived Al-Juhfa itself. So you find the city of Rabid, and then about 3-4 miles away from there, they have made, mashallah, a docking station, just like the Hulayfa, where people can have water and all of that, declare state of Ihram. By the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, he said the place for people coming from the coastline, let's share that side, then they may not, if they're intending Hajj and Umrah, they may not pass that place until they declare state of Ihram. And the people of Iraq are that's their place. So coming from the side of Iraq, and the people from Najd, their place is Qarnul Manazil. And the people of Yemen are from the place called Yalamlam. So where did he come from? Ali ibn Talib, you consider Haram? From? Yemen. Right. Now, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as soon as he arrived to the Hulayfa, the wife of Abu Bakr radiyallahu anha, and the Prophet of Allah, Abu Bakr, he had married to more than one wife. He married to the mother of Aisha, and he was married to the mother of Asma. Asma and Aisha from different mothers. And he's married to Asma bint Umays. Asma bint Umays is not the Asma bint Abi Bakr. So he's got an Asma as a daughter and Asma as a what? As a wife. This Asma bint Umays, she was the wife of Ja'far radiallahu anhu. When Ja'far was killed in the Battle of Mu'tah, the year 6 after Hijrah, she was married to Abu Bakr. And she had a son from Ja'far called Muhammad. And when she married Abu Bakr, she gave birth to a son whom Abu Bakr called Muhammad. Then later on, when Abu Bakr died, she'll be married to Ali ibn Abi Talib, and she got a son from him as well, Muhammad. She was the mother of 3 Muhammads. Muhammad of Ja'far, son of Ja'far, and Muhammad, the son of Abu Bakr, and Muhammad, the son of whom? Ali, mashallah. What a wife she is. So on the day of resurrection, who's she going to be with? Ali ibn Abi Talib, the last husband, radiyallahu anhu wa arda, inshallah. Right, coming back. So she given birth. When she given birth, so she has going to have what? Blood, which we call it the postnatal blood. It's equivalent to the menses blood. It's impure with the consensus of all scholars. You're not allowed to pray. You're not allowed to. Okay, you're not allowed to pray in that case. You're not allowed to fast. So she's now learning from the Prophet. So she's asked the Prophet of Allah, what should I do? See, she's got a scholar with her. He's a scholar of all scholars, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when you travel to Hajj or Umrah, you go somebody who's knowledgeable, an inheritor of the Prophet, to learn your deen. So in case you're stuck with something, you're going to ask somebody beside you, and they're going to give you a fatwa which is not wrong, and you're going to be ending up maybe invalidating your Hajj. So what should I do, Messenger of Allah? I mean, if somebody else would have said to her, go home, there's no Hajj for you. Because he doesn't understand. Prophet ﷺ, he said, no, just make sure that you pad yourself. What is padding yourself? I mean, you check your blood. Keep it in check. And then, ahrim. Declare the state of Ihram. State of Ihram, declaration, is words which involves Allah, Allahumma. So it is alright for a woman in her menses or postnatal to mention Allah, to remember Allah. And from the remembrance of Allah is to read what? Quran. Don't expect a woman who's in her postnatal to stay 40 days not reciting Quran. If she's hafiz, she'll forget about the Quran. She'll forget about it. So who said that she's not allowed to read Quran? Not incorrect. The scholar is different regarding touching the Quran. Touching the Quran is a different case. We say she's allowed, but if she needs to do so. If she could really not touch it and use her gloves and all of that, it would be better. But as I said, because she's a hafiz, she needs to have the Quran, we say she could touch the Quran, inshallah, if she needs it. But as I was reading the Quran, she must. She's going to have to do either adhkar, or she sleeps, she's an adhkar, or she comes out of the house, or adhkar, to come inside the car, all of that. Going back. Go ahead.
The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed in a mosque, and then mounted his she-camel. The camel stood, stalled. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was one its back at Al-Bayda. As far as I could see in front of him, behind me, to the right and to the left, there are nothing but people riding or walking. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was prominent among us, and the Quran was being revealed to him.
Okay, stop. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the narration which I'm going to add to you, is that he prayed and he still samit. Samit means quiet. So he did not say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. He didn't start it. He's in Dhul Hulayfa. So he prayed. What the prayer was? He prayed, first of all, the obligatory prayer, the dhuhr. Then he prayed 2 rak'ah. Those 2 rak'ah, mistakenly, by the people, they think it is the 2 rak'ah for ihram. Wrong. These 2 rak'ah was for the sake of that particular place. In the Hulayfa is called Wadi al-Aqiq, the valley of al-Aqiq. Prophet of Allah, he said, جاءني جبريل, أتاني جبريل. Jibreel salam came to me, and he said, إنك معرس ببطحها مباركة. You are camping in a place which is blessed, Mubarak. So, صلي ركعتين, pray 2 rak'ah. So he prayed 2 rak'ah. So if you are passing by that place, by land, then it is from the sunnah to pray 2 rak'ah there. But if you're passing by other than Dhul Hulayfa, you're passing by Al-Juhfa, by Lamlam, Qarn al-Manazil, by other stations, there's no 2 rak'ah. And if you're passing by Dhul Hulayfa but flying, then there is no 2 rak'ah. Because the 2 rak'ah is for the barakah of the place. And the barakah of the place is not going to be transferred through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to the plane. It has to be you're on land. So you pray next to the Aqiq. And that is in a masjid called Masjid al-Shadar, Masjid al-Miqat, Masjid al-Miqat, which has been built there, the masjid. Now the 2 rak'ah, according to Shaykh al-Albani, when we have learned, and this is the, as I said, the knowledge you take it from the scholars, not from the books, that you pray it outside. So you pray your prayer of the dhuhr inside the masjid, but you pray the 2 rak'ah outside, which is in a place which is the next to the masjid. It's called the Valley of Al-Aqiq. And the Shaykh al-Albani showed it to his students, and his students showed it to us. So we have a link to where this valley. So this 2 rak'ah is not 2 rak'ah of ihram. Is that understood, everyone? It's not 2 rak'ah of ihram. Right. Now the Prophet ﷺ, he mounts al-Qaswa. Qaswa is one of the names of the she-camels Prophet of Allah had. He had al-qaswa, he had al-adba. Okay? So the Prophet ﷺ, he had more than she-camel, where these she-camels, they used to be called names. So he had al-qaswa, and he had also al-adba.
Whatever he did, we also did. He pronounced Allah's oneness, saying, "At your service," or Allah at your service, at your service. You have no partner. To you belongs the praise, the grace, and the dominant. You have no partner. The people also pronounced this expression, known as the talbiyah.
Okay. Adding to the qaswa and al-adwa, we have al-jad'a, also the name of the she-camels. Prophet ﷺ, in another hadith, he faced the Qibla while he was mounting, and he pronounced the following words: "Labbaik Allahumma bihajjatin wa umrah." Here I am, O Lord, at your command, performing Hajj and Umrah, because he's making two, or Umratan fi Hajj. Umrah inside the Hajj, linked to the Hajj. As soon as he had done that, so he faced the Qibla, he finished that, then the companions followed that, and then the Prophet ﷺ started the talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, inna alhamda wal ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. That's the talbiyah. There was no melody in the talbiyah, and there is no breakage of the following sentence, which is inna alhamda wal ni'mata, which you'll find 99.9% of the people, they do it when they go to Hajj. And I mean what I'm saying. It's only 0.001% of the people, they know that inna alhamda wal ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika. It took me the last Hajj to brainwash those people got used to this inna alhamda wal ni'mata, the whole Hajj, going and still coming, yet still lingering in their minds. They can't say inna alhamda wal ni'mata, inna alhamda wal ni'mata, they have to stop because they got used to it. So, inna alhamda wal ni'mata laka wal mulk. No, you don't say that you can't see this in the book. You only see from where? You learn it. You learn it. You take it down to the students and you tell it. And there is no melody. It's a dua. And there's no synchronization unless it was by coincidence. Meaning you did not plan the synchronization. But the people these days, they only make talbiyah together and they sleep together. And they stop together. And they wake up together. What type of talbiyah? This is a song, it's not a talbiyah. Okay? So a talbiyah, each one makes a talbiyah, and usually it's the case, the one who's got the loudest voice will pull everybody with him. Like Abu Hurairah, like Ibn Umar, when they went out to Mina, they said, Labbaik Allahumma takbir, Allahu Akbar, everybody went takbir. Whether they were them or synchronized or not synchronizing, it's beside the case, but to deliberately synchronize is not from the Sunnah. And deliberately not to synchronize also is not a Sunnah. So leave it what? Naturally. Don't think about it. So it's not, brother, start. Labbaik Allah, 1, 2, 3. Let's start now. Labbaik Allah. That's even too much. Like that. So, you can't synchronize, brother, it's bid'ah to synchronize, so we have to, that's a bid'ah as well again, extreme, to say that I have to wait for you to start 1, 2, 3, then I start. Leave it, that's natural. You synchronize, not synchronize. Go ahead.
The Prophet ﷺ did not object to any of what was being said, but adhered to his own statement. We did not have any intention but that of Hajj only, being unaware of the permissibility of performing Umrah. However, when we came with him to the house, he touched the pillar.
Okay, stop. For verily, the Prophet ﷺ, he says he did not mind of the companions saying, similar to this talbiyah, but listen to me, that is not opening the door for bid'ah. Here the Prophet of Allah ﷺ, when he had heard this talbiyah, if he had to stop it, then he will what? Tell them this is not right. Now can I use different talbiyah of my own, which is similar to the companions, and with this belief that, well, the Prophet did not mind the companion doing that, so what does he mind me doing myself? He said, hang on a second. Is there any Prophet here alive to say to you what you're saying is correct. There isn't. And that's very important. So those talbiyahs that the companions had said, because we did not hear the Prophet ﷺ make that, لبيك اللهم لبيك. So that they said, لبيك ذا الفواضل, لبيك ذا المعارج. First of all, لبيك, or at your command, فواضل, the one who is holding all the good things, which is Allah. ذا المعارج, the one whom everything goes up to you. He didn't say anything. لبيك وسعديك والخير بيديك والرغباء إليك والعمل. That's another talbiyah. You heard it? لبيك وسعديك, at your command, anytime. والخير, all good is in your hand. والرغباء, and everything that which is will make you to do the good deeds. Everything belongs to you, O Lord. It is not mine. لبيك ذا النعماء, لبيك ذا الفضل الحسن, لبيك مرغوبا أو مرهوبا. Good words as well. The Prophet of Allah, he added himself. لبيك إله الحق, لبيك إله الحق. So لبيك إله الحق. Instead of لبيك اللهم لبيك, لبيك لا شريك لك. You can see لبيك إله الحق. On the side here, something that happened in the last Hajj. I was teaching the people what are the talbiyah that you should be saying. One was لبيك إله الحق, and I saw one of the people which I know, he stuck to this word, he likes it. لبيك إله الحق, لبيك إله الحق. Every time الحق, MashaAllah, he goes into it. I didn't know till later on I knew himself and all his brothers is Abdul Haq, something Haq, nothing Haq. So they link him to the Haq. I said, now I knew. I said to him, wow, you are all the time لبيك إله الحق. His name is Abdul Haq, by the way. All they know his family is to do with the Haq. So now also, when the Prophet ﷺ had the companions coming to him one day, they said to him, Messenger of Allah, there's a man who's leading us in the prayer. Every time he recites in the first rak'ah a surah, he adds to it, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. So he finished the first rak'ah with a surah, he ends, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ, finishes with Ikhlas. So they said to him, to the Imam, we got fed up. We just changed this. Why don't we call Allah all the time? He said, well, either you let me go ahead with it, or you couldn't choose another Imam. I'm not being paid anyway. So they can't find better than him, but they wanted to complain to the Prophet, they might correct him. So he went to the Prophet of Allah. Prophet of Allah, he summoned him, come here. Why are you doing this? He said, Messenger of Allah, I love it. He said, Allah loved you because you love it. Now those guys who had come to complain, they went backwards. That's it. He's now, can I now start doing the following? Every time I recite a surah, then I will say, Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar, fasalli li rabbika. Can I do that? I can't. Listen to this very, very delicate issue that you could refute the Ahlul Bid'ah. When the companions heard something from this man who did not hear from the Prophet of Allah, what did they do? Then to the Prophet of Allah. And when the Prophet of Allah had their complaint, he didn't say, why are you complaining about something? He didn't say that to them. He wanted to ask him, why did you do that guy? So he accepted the complaint. Who am I going to complain to these days? Snake Nazim? Who am I going to complain to? People of Sufis? I'm not going to complain to. There's no prophet. They said this is wrong, this is right. So this hadith in itself is a gate against Ahlul Bidah. Companions complain because it's something we never heard of. Straight away. When Umar al-Khattab, he had the companion reciting the verse, the surah in a different way that he's been learned. What did he do to it? From here, come. You know about in the Quran? He told them and he didn't let go until he's the Prophet of Allah. Messenger of Allah, this guy reading the Quran differently. He said, let go of him. Let go. Recite the surah. He said, this is the way it's been revealed. Recite the surah. He said, in the film, he said, this is the way it's been revealed. Quran was revealed in 7 letters. So don't differ from it. Don't differ on it. SubhanAllah. So Umar al-Khattab, he said to him, don't let go of it. But the Prophet of Allah ﷺ, he is acknowledging that Umar al-Khattab, what he did, it was rightly so. It's my deen. I can't mess about with it. We do different Quran. But when the Prophet told him this is different recitation, then he accepted it. Radiallahu anhu wa Allah. Like this will stop, inshallah, meet the prayer. You continue the prayer, so make the adhan before it makes the adhan.